Alright, good morning. It's 5:45 in the morning on August 23rd. It's day 143. It's 5:45, I already said that. It's 41.8 degrees. And I'm gonna wake up. Alright, good morning again, folks. It is 7:11. 39.6 degrees. So a little chilly. Check out this cool sort of cliff I camped below. I guess not cliff, like I don't know what, butte. I don't know what you call that really. Rocky face mountain, I don't know. Yeah, so just finished breakfast here. Yet again, I pitched up my food, probably a 1/10 or 2/10 of a mile down trail that is trail north of where I camped. So my usual move now is, sleep, wake up, pack up everything, but do a sort of imperfect packing job in my pack, and then hike, 0.1, 0.2, whatever it is, miles to where my food and hole are, and then sit down for whatever it takes. I don't know, an hour or something. I don't know, a little less than an hour, maybe 45 minutes to take care of all the morning stuff. So and then give my pack a proper pack, and then hike out. And that's when I hit record and talk to you guys. So so last night, so I was like laying down. I decided not to process any of yesterday's video. There's like 90 clips from yesterday, and again, I got to camp a little later than usual, and I knew if I started into it, I would just be totally pulled in and unable to go to sleep until like 11 or midnight. So I just thought, well, better to leave it alone. Didn't process any video. Still took a little bit falling asleep, owing in no small part to two interesting things. So the first one, and probably the less interesting of the two, was that there was like lightning happening, lightning and thunder. For a little while it sounded like it was getting closer, and then I couldn't hear any of the thunder, and I could only see the flashing in the sky of the lightning. Well, so I thought, all right, well, that's fine if it's moving away. And then I started hearing the thunder again, and then the thunder was getting louder. So I closed up my tent, and it did rain just a little bit. I mean, it just seemed like maybe one passing cloud. And it rained, just a very little bit, maybe 2 minutes or something. But it dumped for those 2 minutes. It was dumping rain. But after that, it didn't rain anymore. So I guess I kind of just got clipped by the side of the storm. So that was one interesting thing that happened. And it was fine. Everything was great. Didn't bother me really. The other interesting thing that happened before that rain started up, but while the lightning was still only lightning and not yet thunder again, started hearing steps around my tent. Pretty decent size animal steps. And then some huffs, like this, little huffing noise. Snorts or huffs or something. That definitely got my attention. That definitely got my attention. So I grabbed up my bear spray, my headlamp, and there's some goofy deer type critter. I don't know if it was deer or elk or what. No horns, no antlers. And this silly bugger was just like cruising around my camp, eating grass at whatever, 10 o'clock at night, and wicked close to the tent, and totally indifferent to me or the light or my voice or anything. Strange. But I was happy to see that animal, because yet again, just like I said of cows, a couple weeks ago, I'd like to think that an animal like that is probably more appealing to a grizzly than me. Certainly that animal has more fat and meat on it than I do at this point. All right, and then finally, before I snap off and get into hiking, I did remember last night that other thing that I was neglecting to mention and couldn't quite recall, which is that yesterday at lunch I did take one ibuprofen for the right ankle, and then this morning I did take 2 ibuprofen for the ankle. So Not a huge deal. It's not the end of the world. But just kind of decided I'd rather be able to move without worrying about it or feeling it really. So that was that. But anyways, today is shaping up nicely already. Looks like it might be a pretty day. That'd be cool. I'm going to hike again, whatever, 8 or 9 miles to get off the Spotted Bear alternate and back onto the CDT. And then I'll be on the CDT the rest of the day. And then there might be another alternate in the cards for tomorrow, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I will get hiking and check in with you guys a little later on. All right.
Killing time, Friday night. Found a photograph of us without cares and worn out clothes. Doesn't seem so long ago. Now I'm just sitting here bored at home, and it really got me thinking of the times we took off on the road. I can't remember where we headed that night. We were cruising around town in Memphis, running the lights. I just know how it felt. I won't forget that. Windows down and open top. But we were clever not to take it too far, though it's hard not getting tempted. Calling you up to see how you've been, 'cause don't I miss you and all those things we did back then. Way back then. It's funny how times roll by. Is it 12 years since last time? Where'd you go and what's the score? Did you find what you were looking for? I never see you anymore. I can't remember what we did that day. We were blowing off steam in Paris, but I wanted to stay 'cause I know how it felt when we raised hell. I won't forget that. But we were clever not to take it too far, though it's hard not getting tempted. Calling you up to see how you've been, 'cause don't I miss you and all those things we did back then. Way back then. Killing time, Friday night. Found a photograph of us. I can't remember what we did that time. We were spending one night in Venice. It just slipped my mind. I just know how it felt. I won't forget that. Windows down and open top. But we were clever not to take it too far, though it's hard not getting tempted. Calling you up to see how you've been, 'cause don't I miss you and all those things we did back then. Way back then.
All right, folks, good afternoon. It is 3:01, and I'm gonna lie and tell you it's 66.7 degrees because I just don't like the temperature that it is. I never like that temperature. Just finished up lunch, about 20.25 miles into the day. Let's see, so lunch was a creamy chicken nor pasta side or something like that. I was able to get it down anyways, so that's good. Again, those Nors are just not my favorite thing, but you know, whatever. I mean, you need calories, so you wolf it down. Let's see, today's been pretty cruisy. It's been kind of back and forth with this rain. So when I sat down for lunch, it was like a blistering hot sun just beating down on me. And then as I was kind of finishing up lunch, these dark clouds rolled in. And now there's been, yeah, I don't know if that came out. There's been intermittent thunder grumbling as well with these clouds. So there was 4 separate Forest Service dudes who came by. One was a group of 3 younger guys with big 2-man saws and an axe, because there are no chainsaws allowed in the wilderness. They were doing trail maintenance, so God bless them. Hacking up all the trees that are laying across the trail, which they've been on top of it, so I haven't had that many blowdowns. And then a 4th guy who was on his own. Well, I shouldn't say on his own. I guess he had four horses with him. And I asked him about this weather, and he said he doesn't think it's going to be a thing. But boy, dark clouds and that thunder have me thinking it might be a thing. So yet again, I've packed up my solar panel for the day. I started the day with it out, and then I put it away when the first rain spit up, and I put on my poncho, and then I took it back out, and now I've put it back away. I still have my poncho handy. Whatever. Couple things. So this morning I woke up at 5:45 or whatever. Yesterday I woke up at 5, whatever it was, I don't really know. Just wanted to set the record straight. I'm not snoozing anymore from 4:30. I'm now officially snoozing from like 5:15 or 5:30. I've decided I'm gonna start setting my alarm just a little bit later. And I still wind up staying in the bunk for another 30 minutes or whatever, even after the alarm goes off. But I didn't want y'all thinking I'm just like lazing about for an hour and 15 minutes after the alarm goes off, because that would just be too much. But yeah, I've decided that extra time. Part of the reason is just that the hike is winding down, and I want to sleep longer. I mean, I don't really feel super, like, I have no doubt that I'll beat the snow and Glacier at this point. Good God. So, you know, if I wind up doing like 5 miles fewer every day, I don't really care. The other part of it, a little bit more pragmatic, is that again, all the rumors are that grizzlies and other critters are kind of most active on those sort of gray light periods of the day, that being right before and during sunrise, and then right before and during sunset. So all things being equal, as much as I love hiking into that gray light, I just don't really think it's a prudent move in this part of the country. So that's that. Second thing I'll mention is that I was looking ahead again at the rest of this jump, and it looks like I don't want to say grossly miscalculated, but definitely miscalculated the number of miles between Augusta and East Glacier. It is not 103, it's more like 118 or something like that. So that's 15 extra miles, which is fine. I mean, I got plenty of food and everything. I'll be fine. I'm not really worried about that. But I'm glad to have realized that now, because I was kind of gearing up to like sort of push a little bit today, push a little bit tomorrow, maybe like 30 high, like 35, something like that, miles each day or something, and slide into East Glacier tomorrow night. Well, I just don't think, I mean, there's a difference between pushing a little bit for 35 and pushing a lot for like 40, 2 days in a row or whatever in the world it would be. Don't double check my math. I know it doesn't add up. I don't care. So I'm still trying to decide exactly how far I want to go today, and how far I want to go tomorrow. It looks like just about 53 miles ahead of where I am right now, there's like an established campsite with a picnic table and a pit privy. And y'all know I love those things. But that would leave 16 miles to get into town, which is totally not the end of the world. Slightly longer day than I had hoped. for my get into town day. I just haven't really decided. I'll probably wind up staying there, but that would mean probably a short day tomorrow and a shorter day than I had originally planned today. I don't know. I'll keep thinking about it. I got nothing else to do but think about it. So, yeah, we'll keep cruising. Definitely over that switchback pass. I've crossed the Rubicon into the burnt out section of the Bob Marshall Wilderness, unfortunately, but it's clear that it was not a last year burn, probably even the year before that burn, because you can see how much this undergrowth has really come up to include all sorts of wonderful wildflowers, which is kind of the silver lining I take from all of these burnt out spots. I try to not think so much about the animals and trees and stuff that didn't make it through the fire, and instead just focus on the resilience of the environment to to be making progress towards working its way back. So if there's one thing I can say about the whatever now nigh on 5,000 miles I've hiked in the past 2 years, it's the resilience of nature is like nothing if not profoundly inspirational. I have no excuse because if nature can bounce back from this, then I have no excuse. So anyways, that's my philosophy for this post-lunch check-in. I will keep moseying, hoping that this black cloud just kind of rolls on by. But whatever, we'll see. I will check in with you guys once I get to camp, whenever that may be. All right, good evening, folks. It is 7:43 and 56.4 degrees, and I've made it to home for the night. Yeah, sorry I didn't get a bunch of shots the second half of the day here. Dude, it was 10 miles of car wash. It was brutal. It was like topographically fine, and the terrain, like the earth underfoot, wasn't bad at all. But it was just totally like overgrown, like just plants coming. I mean, the trail itself, when I could see it, was clear and unmissable. But it was just, there were so many plants growing over it. And anyways, that rain that I had kind of feared, well, the rain was fine in and of itself. It did rain a little bit, but there's a really angry squirrel. But it never rained enough even to where I would want to put on my poncho. So it was like just a super light rain. But man, I swear every last droplet was hanging out on these plants. And so as I was going through just this totally overgrown trail, I mean, sometimes as high as my shoulders, usually about belt height, but sometimes as high as my shoulders, it was just dousing me, man. I'm soaked. One good thing about that storm, though, was that it definitely kind of broke the heat. I mean, it's been like about 60 degrees. I know my afternoon check-in was 66.7, we'll say. But yeah, as soon as that storm or whatever, just that sprinkle of rain kind of passed through, the temperature just dropped even more, and it was hanging out around 58 for most of the second half of the day, which is just fine. And that's like exactly like a dream temperature for me. Like my motor likes it, man. I just move good. So I was able to cruise along a little bit, but again, just that car wash situation, man, just slowed me down big time. I shouldn't say slowed me down, but I don't know, made things less fun, I guess. Aside from that, I think the plan is going to be for tomorrow. Try and get to that place with the whatever picnic table and pit privy and stuff. Probably camp there, but we'll kind of see what time I get in. I mean, if I get in at 5, I'll probably just call it a day. If I get in at like 2, which I don't think I would, maybe push a little further, but I don't know, whatever, man. Maybe all that'll change too. Who in the world even knows? But yeah, check out this awesome spot, man. This awesome camp spot. It reminds me, not the surrounding area, but like just being in these tall, really like cozy pines really reminds me of that one night when I was in Jedediah Smith Wilderness in the Tetons, and I found that great little stand of pines. Not a bad campsite at all. Honestly, one of the better campsites I've seen in quite some time. So I'm excited that I have that anyways to kind of I don't know what, be a bit of a balm or a salve for me, and just kind of, yeah, I'm soaked, man. I'm soaked, and I'm getting cold. So I'm gonna go ahead and snap off and get out of my wet clothes and into a dry sleeping bag, and it's gonna be wonderful. And I'll talk to you guys. Let's see, was there anything else? I don't think so. No, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow morning. All right, good morning. It's 5:45 in the morning on August. All right, good morning. It's 5:20. All right, good evening, folks. It is 7:43 and 56.4 degrees. Ooh.